Yo, today we have another part where I go through one of my old newsletters and kind of just reflect on what I wrote and give you more of an insight of why I was thinking that way and what inspired me and how we can, learn from what I wrote. And before I get into it, I just want to let you guys know that I do write newsletter posts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I try to be as consistent as I can, posting every single week on that Substack newsletter. And I would appreciate if you guys just check out, support me, support your boy. I've been working really hard on it. It's been 2 months since I launched it, and it's been going good. I've enjoyed it quite a lot, and yeah. So the links in the description. Again, I appreciate you guys just check out. Leave a like, comment, just kind of just show your support, and we'll get into the first one. So before I get into the first one, I'm just going to show you guys kind of how much I've done so far. So January 5th, that was yesterday, and I submitted one, and this is just of all the ones so far. So December I picked up quite a good routine, and I have a good routine moving forward. So the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and yeah, so it's good that I have this much because that means we have a lot of content to go over. So yeah, so the first one here actually. So this is I think my fourth one I wrote. It's titled "How to Stay Disciplined, being consistent with what you do." And self-discipline is something that I've really liked the idea of, and I picked up over the last 2 years, I guess. And yeah, it's something that I really do value and understand very well. And and its connection with how hard you work and your reason to work and all of those kind of things. Here I wrote in the description or the introduction, I wrote that self discipline is the ability to take action regardless of how you feel. And that's exactly how I view it, I guess. I saw Mike Tyson as well define it in a way that, something along the lines that self discipline is doing something that you don't like to do, but do it like you love it. You're really just meaning, what it means, but making sure that you have some sort of way that you can set something for yourself, set a target or set a target goal, a destination for yourself, and being sticking to it, having that sort of respect for yourself and respect for your ambitions, and your responsibilities and your commitments, and being self then that's kind of where self discipline comes in, having that respect for yourself and following through with what commitments you set for yourself and that you feel that you are obligated to do. So I'll talk more in the introduction. I'll kind of just say self discipline can be practiced by learning the right resources and, believe it or not, actually taking time to work on the tasks you set for yourself. And me saying believe it or not just kind of means like, it's not that difficult to know how to do things, because a lot of the time people do. I go through it too, where you want to ask questions that are quite straightforward to yourself. Like the answer. What I mean? You'd ask, listen, how do I make it from destination A to B? But you would know that you have to start taking steps. You have to start moving. But you still would want to ask that question and feel like you have to wait for an answer or wait for some sort of permission or someone to let you know that yes, you do it this way before you start. But it's really not that complicated, and yeah, you shouldn't really over analyze things and try to question your own ability or be lazy with things. It's that simple. Just take time to work on the task you set for yourself. And yeah, I say that I have a few tips, and some of the tips I do bring out. I have so there's three tips I say: to be clear on your goal, that's one; set time aside every week, that's two; and be accountable. And so kind of clarity and time management and self accountability. Those are three essential parts to self discipline. You have to be clear with what you want, because if you're not clear, you're gonna find it hard to stay on track with something, because you don't even know where the track is. I guess you don't really know what you really want to work towards, and you're left with kind of an open field. So you're kind of you're left overwhelmed, or you're left in a place where you don't know where to go or where to even start or whatever. And I talk here about the key to using self-discipline effectively is to be clear on your goal. And I say, what does this mean exactly? You must have clarity on what it is you want to accomplish, how you want to accomplish it, and why. And I say this makes it easier to work effectively and use your discipline in a way that helps you achieve your goals. Obviously, in this, I didn't really go too much in depth, but it essentially means that if you're more certain about what it is you're working towards, you're more likely to put all your efforts into it. If you have a list of reasons why you're going for a certain thing, and you have that criteria for that goal, and these are the reasons why I'm working towards it, you're more likely to stay committed to it because it's something that you understand more. You have a better understanding. So yeah, and it's quite logical if you can come to that conclusion yourself if you kind of just think about it. And the next one I writ is time management, and this is very important because being self-disciplined is matched with time, because you need to know when are you gonna practice this self-discipline. When during the week or the month or the day, when are you gonna kind of do when have you set your time for those activities that you're gonna do, so you're clear. Okay, I've set these time dates and I have these deadlines. I have something to be self-disciplined towards, so it'll be easier for you to kind of work with, and help you work towards your goal. And let me just kind of go over it briefly. It's important to set times, every week. I said, this is for example. I gave an example, so you can make a calendar at the start of every week for activities you will do on certain days. This will give you time-based tasks that you are responsible for. And I said this is vital because self-discipline requires a task for you to be disciplined in. I followed this kind of routine when I used to do my old business, when I used to be in trading. At the start of every week, I would set targets and goals for me, so that are things I would have be responsible for. And it wasn't just within my business; it was in my other facets. So like education, so whether it was in uni, and also reading books and acquiring knowledge in certain topics that I'm interested in. Like stuff like this, personal development and all of that kind of stuff. And also in entrepreneurship, so my businesses and stuff like that. Extracurricular stuff, so when it came to going to the gym or doing boxing or Brazilian jiu-jitsu or basketball, any of those stuff, or football, any of those extracurricular kind of things, I just call it's kind of sports or extra stuff, any extra stuff you want to do, whether it's even if it's gaming or whatever. And also entertainment, setting time aside for, these days I have stuff I need to go to, so that you're aware of them. So yes, kind of laying out your week, planning ahead, and just so you're aware of what's going on, so you're not completely confused and don't know what's happening, and you kind of just look back at the end of the week or the end of the month and realize that things would have been easier if you planned ahead. And it makes things easier as well. If you plan ahead, you can kind of prepare for any changes or any sort of things that are out of your control that can happen, and you can work around those. And the last one I go over is self-accountability. And I wrote here that you can be accountable for yourself by being honest about what you have accomplished versus the goals you have set. This can allow you to reflect on your actions and either compliment or criticize areas of your discipline. This is really important because a big area in general is how honest you are with yourself. You could say that there are times where you would lie to yourself in a good way or a bad way, where you'd kind of overestimate or underestimate your abilities. But if you have that kind of thing in the back of your mind, or in your plan, or wherever you have, where you remember to try be as honest as you can, bringing out the strengths and the weaknesses in your abilities and in certain journeys that you took with getting towards a goal. The more honest you are, the better it is, because then you have something you can trust yourself to work with. So that if you was working towards, for example, losing weight, and you knew that your strength was staying committed in the gym, but your weakness was having a consistent diet routine. If the more honest you are with yourself, the more easier it is to kind of work with what you have and improve kind of based on the feedback that you give yourself. And also self accountability just means just kind of taking responsibility for your actions and what you can control, and that helps you steer away from worrying about what you can't control and removing all accountability and responsibility from yourself, and it makes your life kind of a lot easier. Because from my experience, the times where I've focused on what I can't control and complained a lot and not taking accountability as I could have or should have, those are the times where things have been difficult and I felt like I was in a rut and I felt like I had nowhere to turn. I just felt like I was just out of it and that kind of stuff. And yeah, those times are tough. So it's always good to bear in mind and to remind yourself to be accountable and to focus on what you can control. And of course, a lot of the stuff I'm going to say in this kind of, I guess, series or whatever I'm doing, a lot of it you can look at and be like, yeah, this is easier said than done. This is quite obvious. This is, you know what I mean? This is, what's the point of you doing this? A lot of the stuff we know, but it's not about, I guess for me, it's not about me bringing something new all the time, or even ever. It's just about bringing stuff that we already know and kind of revamping it and putting it in my own way, because this is my perspective on things. This isn't something it's not necessarily new information, but it's different because it's coming from me, and with your guys' input, it's going to be different as well. Everyone's going to have that different thing, and that's what's great about this channel. You know, everyone can bring in their own insights and their own understandings, and together we can just kind of grow and just build better knowledge, a knowledge base, and a great community. You know, if all goes well. And yeah, so that's what I want to make sure that's clear there, because I don't want to go ahead with this and then have, you know, backlash with stuff that I never really put out there. You know, I never really put out that I know everything, or this is the right way, or this is something that you never knew before. I never really said any of that. I want to put that ahead in the start, that first of all, I don't know everything. Second of all, this is not just about me, it's about everyone that wants to take part and share what they know. Thirdly, this is not about bringing something new to the table. This is about bringing something that is known out there, but revamping it, or whatever you want to call it, or rebranding it in your own way, in a way that you understood it, so you can bring your own insight. That's something that is original because it's coming from you. So yeah, I kind of went a bit off topic, but in the rest of the paragraph I talk about an easier method is to have others be accountable along with yourself. This is because having the help of others is a lot better than doing it all yourself. If you make sure that honesty is vital, then you can trust others to keep you on track whenever you feel like you are slowing down. I say thanks for reading this, and so please, thanks for reading this post and subscribe to see more. That is a very, very important point, and I'm glad I kind of broke it off, that first bit and that second bit. Even if you feel like you don't have anyone, try to look around, like, because you know there is bound to be someone out there that you may feel on your end that they don't want to really go, they don't really want to talk about this or be accountable for you or whatever, or even want to talk to you, but maybe that's just your view on that situation. Maybe it's not the actual case. If you reach out and you ask them, maybe good can come out of it. You know, sometimes it's better than just leaving things to them to kind of feel like you leave it to them, and then feel like if they don't talk to you, then it's just, then what you thought is right. Sometimes if you reach out first, you can clear any misunderstanding, and that's the grounds of a lot of communication. It's very important to keep things very clear and have things honest straight off the bat, and in a way that's, you know, I mean, a way that's nice, you know, not being too blunt or too rude about things, just getting to the point of stuff and kind of clearing anything that's that may cause problems. And if you really feel like you don't have no one, this is the community for you. This is the community for you. I promise you. Like, if whenever I have the time, I will talk to anyone that wants to talk about anything. Anyone wants to talk about something. Anyone that wants to learn. Anyone that wants to teach. Anyone that just wants to have a conversation or play or do whatever you want to do. I'm here. As this community grows, there will be people here, and this will be a nice community for you to kind of, just kind of just chill, learn, whatever you want to do, teach, and grow and just have fun. And I think I'm gonna leave it there, guys. We're wrapping it at 15 minutes again. I think like 10 to 30 minutes is a good kind of range for me, if kind of a cap on these kind of episodes or series or just videos. I do hope to kind of keep this routine going, and this video, I think I'm gonna post this video today, but I'm gonna try follow a routine of posting at least 2 to 3 videos a week on this channel. And if you don't know, I do have another page, and I have 2 more pages. I have 25 chances and 25 Sammy 25ch. My 25 chances, I post a lot of videos that are kind of they're edited and stuff like that. My Sammy 25ch, I try do live streams there every day. So yeah, and you get a different side of me. That side of me is more just kind of playing games and just having fun on there. This is more of kind of just more knowledge focused, more learning and teaching and stuff like that, and just kind of just chilling and delving into knowledge really and insights. But yeah, I have these 3 pages, so definitely make sure to check those all out. It's in the description if you want to check those out. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode where we will go over the next news that I have.